So the other day I was sitting there on YouTube, just relaxing, having a good time, when I noticed a notification on my channel. You just hit 100,000 subscribers, congratulations! Click here to receive your prize. YouTube had finally registered that it hit 100k and wanted my info so I could be sent a silver play button. I was so excited. I clicked the link and was redirected to my channel. All of a sudden, a window pops up with a Happy Tree Friends video and a copyright test. Wait, what? I have to fill out a stupid copyright test to earn my play button? What the hell? I answer the 4 questions and I'm set free to view my channel, but lo and behold, the second that little window disappears, I'm met with a copyright strike. It was a bit of a shock. The last video I'd made was about my microphones that I use through YouTube. Why would anyone strike me? I checked the click details button to see why the strike was received, and this is what I find. A company by the name of Retaily had taken my video down. The strike was not explained, and I was met with line upon line of patronization from YouTube. But I knew exactly why the strike had been received. See, in my Console Peasant Quote series, I always have a bit at the end containing snippets of someone else's video, or the media saying something foolish. A YouTube channel called Retaily had been featured in the end of my newest addition to the series, Console Peasant Quotes 29. I went to the channel and found the comments section was disabled. This guy was probably getting comments about being at the end of my video and wanted it to stop. Now, normally I don't add the video's link that I use in my video in the description, mostly because my videos are about correcting ignorance and having fun while doing it. I don't want people on their channels being harassed over it. However, I did go link the video in that episode just in case people wanted to go see the video in full. Now, I'm not trying to blame the viewers or shame you guys for this whole endeavor. The internet is the internet, and if people wanted to find the video, they were going to. What a channel subscribers do or say is not the fault of the YouTuber, but I do think myself taking some credit is definitely deserving. Now, YouTube does not handle these disputes. When it comes to takedown strikes and claims, all of these have to be dealt with one-on-one with the person who struck your video. So I sent an email. It read, I made a video on my channel, Bulletbarry, titled Console Peasant Quotes 29. At the end of the video, I pointed out a mistake that your representative made regarding processors and how they work. I did not mean to send hate your way, and I even removed the links sending them to your channel. Despite this, I got a copyright strike and my video was ripped off the internet. I ask that you remove the strike from my channel and allow the video to stay up. I will also accept any requests from you guys regarding the video, i.e. removing the link from your channel, removing your channel's name, etc, etc. Thank you for taking the time to look this over, and I hope we can resolve this peacefully. Thank you. I figured I'd be civil as I try so hard to be, and I went to bed. But this was kinda bothering me all night. I had no idea who Retaily was and how this left me standing with YouTube. No idea if these strikes affect how much YouTube broadcasts you and what benefits are taken away. The next day I went to work and told a few coworkers about what had happened. They asked me if I'd received a reply, which I had not, and told me that I may want to start making some noise to get a response. I sent a tweet out essentially explaining the situation. I had hoped that this would get the ball rolling a bit at the expense of the guy getting a tiny bit of a wake-up call. It wasn't until someone sent me a message with Retaily's business information, phone numbers, emails, and website hinting at me to tweet this info out. Now, before I go any further, this is not always the best idea. Not only was I too emotionally attached to this to make that kind of decision, but I had not given Retaily enough time to reply. Regardless, I jumped the gun, and I sent that tweet out. About 30 minutes go by and I get an email from Retaily. I open it up as fast as I could, and this is what it read. Hey Barry, first off, I've enjoyed a lot of the content on your YouTube channel. I have no problems with you personally whatsoever. I don't mind criticism of the video. It's a simplified explanation of a very, very complex topic. I'm 100% open to resolving this amicably and withdrawing the YouTube copyright complaint. The challenge we're facing is the flood of harassment that is coming from your followers, which continues up until now, and you are now directly encouraging. You've made me very hesitant to discuss this with you any further without involving my attorney. We have no intent to strike you and throw you away. You wrote us at 2 a.m. and haven't allowed us enough time to reply. Your actions are making this increasingly difficult to resolve amicably. It's to the point that even if we allowed you to repost the video without a link and without the name of our company, your followers know where to find us and where to find the video. And they'll spread the word for you so the harassment can continue. All we were trying to do was genuinely help people with our video, the very same way you aim to help your audience with your videos. I'm even willing to link one of your videos within our video. If you have one explaining processors in a way that's helpful to people that are generally very confused and overwhelmed by technology. Every action you've taken thus far has just backed us further and further into a corner, and made us more of a target for your audience. The situation is now harder to resolve in a way that doesn't result in continued harassment for us. If you can propose a solution that will realistically stop the harassment, I will work to withdraw the copyright claim on YouTube. Please let me know your thoughts, Quentin. This is where I started to feel bad. Now, yes, a copyright strike is miles over excessive for this kind of thing, but the guy felt he was being harassed. I couldn't fault him too much for reacting, it's what people do. I took the tweets down and asked him if he could speak with me when work was done. He agreed and I finished up the day. Upon calling him, I noticed that he too was very calm and apologized extensively for resorting to a strike first thing. I then apologized for escalating the situation and we reached a resolve. He will remove the strike, I will remove the video. I will then make this video explaining the situation and then talk about copyright. And then I will re-upload my video. This way, people can see from both sides and hopefully he won't feel as though he's being attacked by me. Now, I want to talk about copyright for a second as this was my first encounter with it and I feel there are things that need to be said. Quentin, over at Retail, was getting notification after notification from the video that I had made. He was feeling harassed and he went to solve the issue. Now here's my first problem. There are ways of messaging YouTubers, especially me. You can send them private messages on their about pages, and I have an email in the description of my videos. However, because this system is so easy to use, this guy instead used a copyright strike. What I'm saying is, Quentin did exactly what YouTube enables as their easiest option. Think about it. Had Quentin known he could contact me, or YouTube gave him that option as he was going to strike my video, all of this could have been avoided. For a guy in his situation, this was the easiest option, and I can't hate him for taking it. Now, you could argue that most YouTubers don't check their YouTube messages, and this is fair, but why not make a setup so that if someone wants to strike your video, they have to send you a message first? After a 24-hour period, this is now when the strike can be submitted. This allows time for things to be resolved on their own, in a safer environment, hopefully without these issues starting in the first place. Now, what do I mean by safer environment? Well, again, none of these disputes can be discussed through YouTube. If someone struck my video right now, I'd have to give them a way to contact me, a phone number or an email address. Information that a lot of people would unsurprisingly be afraid to just hand out. After the strike was issued, I, the YouTuber, was taken to my channel and forced to take a test before I could interact with anything else. Not only is this extremely patronizing, but institutes a guilty before innocent system. Now, I'm not under the impression that nobody knows that YouTube's copyright prevention methods are flawed to no end, but when literally anybody can claim and strike your videos, you are patronized and punished, and then you have to go to the person who filed the claim? That is absolutely ridiculous, especially since there are no negative repercussions for filing a false strike at all. I'd feel a lot better if I could be struck, refute the strike through YouTube, present my evidence to an actual representative, and then if I'm found innocent, the other person receives the strike if I feel it necessary. That would be fair. Look, my first copyright strike on YouTube was a soft blow, but this could have easily been worse. Had the guy actually been upset, he could have kept my video down for upwards of a month. He could have used the strike to gather my information to use in a malicious way, or worse still, if someone was so inclined, they could remove a YouTube channel for upwards of 3 months in just one day, simply by spamming these strikes. And I'm more upset at YouTube for allowing this to go on for so long, for giving that kind of power to people who may just want to screw you over for a good laugh. Quentin was cool. The stuff he said in my Console Peasant Quotes video was false, but we've all been there. And yes, he may have gone a bit too far using a copyright strike instead of a private message, but it is what it is. I understand why copyright law was put into place, and I know why it's enforced so heavily. Other than for companies' intellectual property's sake, there are people who straight up plagiarize. This system is in place for us as well. There are always going to be scumbags out there who can't think for themselves, so they steal other people's work. And it's these kinds of people who deserve these copyright strikes and why this system is so high-strung. I guess the only kind of advice I have for these morons who do this, other than go back to school or think for yourselves, is if you don't want to strike, for the love of God, just learn how to copyright.